Okay, today we're going to test out the 3080 and the 99K in Halo Infinity Campaign. Yeah, we're going to do it with 4040p Ultrawide and see how it performs. So we have everything enabled, everything is maxed out basically. Besides the blur is well moved down, the screen shake is off, and sharpening is on 0. So yeah, field of view is at 100%, so let's just keep it on that. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the audio, lower the sound a little bit. The reason for that is pretty loud.
Look at this place. It's so full of more monsters coming to kill us.
Yeah. So I went to the starting area,
We'll need to clear somewhere to land.
which was pretty much
Incoming.
here, I think. The starting area gives you a lot of performance, like way more than outside. So yeah, we're gonna try this out to see how this performs. The performance is a lot more rougher in this area. Man, it never ends. Yeah, the performance is pretty low, but it's still really, really smooth. So it's not particularly much of an issue. Typically with G-Sync. You can't really see G-Sync on the screen though. On YouTube, because the capture card doesn't capture it. So it will clear a little bit. Yeah, so we're sitting at like 70 FPS there. Let's see if we can move some settings around. Let's put it on Ultra. Oh. So Ultra settings reduces some settings. Yeah, it's noticeable. You get a little bit more performance. I think this area is a good example of how demanding something is. There we go. So let's see if we move it over towards high. A little bit more CPU bound at this point. Where's the enemy? Well, let's go back. So we have the same place. Skill developed. Just to get an ID how it's gonna run. Lower settings before we move on. Yeah, so this is high. Let's move to medium. The thing is, controls, the Xbox I think can deliver 120 frames, so I'm kind of curious what presets these consoles use. Probably gonna be low. Because I'm not hitting it, that's for sure. So let's move on again. Medium, let's put it on low. Yeah, I think it's low. I think it runs on low. The CPU is quicker than what's in the Xbox though. So it makes sense that it's low. It looks very decent, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, low performance. Or lower quality visuals. So, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's low. 120 FPS is low then. There's a pretty stark difference between low and ultra though. Pretty severe degrees in performance, I would say. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I personally think the game can use a lot of DLSS magic here. But at the other end of the day, I'm not sure because I do have the feeling I'm more CPU than GPU bound at this point.
Of them.
Is it safe?
Is anything? Don't answer that. If you can find me somewhere to hack in, I think I can guarantee this base will be safe for your friend to land. Let me see. The Banished are using a modification of... Here is the distress signal's point of origin. This is our current location. This was, until 2 minutes ago, a Banished forward operating base. I say was because now it's ours.
Chief, what is she talking about?
Now, here's the cool part. There are more UNSC forward operating bases that have fallen into Banished hands. Well, paws. They have paws. Each one is associated with a territory. Here is the location of the UNSC signal I've been tracking. And here are 2 more fobs.
Mark it. Let's go.
Let's go. What? Ready and wait.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
To some.
Is it disappointing? Well, the reason why it's disappointing is
We're
you need
close
to
to
keep
the
in mind
UNSC
it's a
signal's
3080,
origin.
right? And the Xbox runs the game at like
Unclear. There's just
60
too much
FPS
chatter on
at
all
4K
Banished channels.
and
I keep
120
hearing
FPS
the
at
tower.
4K,
It's
or
probably the main
nah, I think it's
structure
like
we saw as we
1080p
flew
at
in.
that point. So a 3080 is a lot more quicker than what's in the Xbox, like a lot more. So you would expect to get a lot more performance out of it, and it's kind of disappointing on that front. Now I do understand that the quality is a lot more higher, but yeah, I don't know.
Look down there. We're close to the fob we detected.
I
You take
personally
out
had
those
like
monsters,
something like
Get
DLSS
me
or
to that
something in
terminal,
there
and I'll show
that
what I
would
can do.
increase performance. That didn't work. Yeah, so
Get me to
performance
that
is
terminal,
around 60-70 on
I'll show what
Ultra,
I can do.
Stop moving! Shoot armor! Your shield!
well around the 70 I would say. The dips here and there.
One good shot!
You made short work of that, huh? Now to business. Let's lock down Fob Golf. Yes, I was right. All I need to do is chat with the Banished security protocol. And by chat, I mean push it out of the way because it is really not smart. And there. We now have ourselves a second fob.
Was that you?
Affirmative.
So what, you're going to just rebuild the UNSC? Piece by piece?
That's his call. I'm just trying to be helpful. Speaking of which, each fob seems to be linked to the BattleNet. And if I do this, we can piece together what the Banished are up to. For instance, over here is some kind
I
of
wish I could
banished
skip
outpost.
this stuff
Purpose.
and just
Unclear,
play a little
but
bit.
it's well defended, so it's definitely worth looking into and blowing up. And here is
Yeah,
what
I
I
will
can only
test out
describe as
how
someone
much
at
of
the
an
banished
GPU
value
bottleneck that actually is.
highly.
It's actually the GPU, the
Noted.
CPU. I can't
His
really make it
bio
out
is
at this point.
interesting. If you want to see for yourself, it's waiting for you in the database. They're
Because higher
tracking
settings also
UNSC
increase CPU
transponders
load
too.
for other
Caches
things.
containing valuable equipment and intel. Oh no, it looks like there are multiple UNSC squads engaged in trying to survive. They need your
Like,
help.
is this NPC really going over the entire map? Wow.
Are you ready, Chief?
What do you think?
I already told you that the odds aren't great.
For them.
Then let's go find out what that signal is.
So let's look at this, for example. This is 70 FPS, right? So if I reduce my resolution to a step under there, so let's say, yeah, it's not entirely what, but let's say 75% lower, right? Now look at the frame rate. Frame rate's a lot more higher, right? So I'm GPU bound. It's the GPU that's the issue. It's not entirely GPU, but it's a big part of it. So let's actually remove the GPU entirely. So this is what the CPU can maximally push out. Right? Because we are now completely CPU bound. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of overhead here, right? So, or not overhead, there's a lot of performance left over here. And this is like 50% rendering. So, DLSS, if you apply DLSS into this game, let's say DLSS most likely will add something like 30%, right? So that's like 70%. You will get performance like this. And it will look better on top of it. Now this is like really smooth, right? 90 FPS is really good. The FPS that you get on native, like this, is just not. Now there are two problems here. And the problem that I have is, why is there no DLSS or FSR or any of that stuff in this game? Like, it's mind-boggling to me that a game of this caliber doesn't have it. Force had the same problem, Age of Empire has the same problem. Is Microsoft incapable to make something like that? I don't understand it really. It's not that hard to implement into your games, man.
Down.
Really want to protect their fuel silos.
Clearly.
So what are you going to do about it?
Disappoint them.
Nice. You need to manually raise each silo first.
Yeah, like, I personally think what they should be doing is optimize the game a lot more for ultra settings. I don't know, pushing things too far. However, the game is not particularly like... It doesn't feel like it's like this graphical juggernaut, right? Oh.
Each fuel silo should have a manual override. Scan the area.
need to blow it up or some shit. Ja, dus. Yep.
You know what to do now.
You will not forget the day our paths crossed.
Destroy that silo, Chief. Take out that silo. We've got company, Chief. Well, more company. It looks like the Banished are tearing down and repairing vehicles here.
Not for long.
Marking the repair base. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna stop recording here. It's already way too long at this point. All in all, it runs perfectly fine. Not a lot of issues with it. It runs perfectly smooth. It plays well. Performance-wise, it's disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. I think DLSS should be standard in these type of games from these days on. DLSS is already in. Like there are so many versions already of it that at this point, not including it in a game of this caliber, is just yeah. You're just not. You almost start to become like irrelevant in the market at that point. Like I'm not gonna lie, the fact in most games that I buy these days, if DLSS is just not part of it, I probably and it's like graphical demanding, I'll probably just skip it. This is my opinion about it. So for a company like Microsoft, completely ignoring upscaling techniques, which you know is pretty much used on all consoles on since forever at this point. Um, Even less generation consoles. Not with AI like DLSS, but you know, still upscaling solutions. AMD has solutions, NVIDIA has solutions for it. Implemented and not implementing it, it just really makes it feel like a bad optimized port. On top of it, CPU wise, yeah, like Ultra just absolutely decimates your CPU performance. That's the thing. It also decimates your GPU performance. Yeah, I have no idea how people are gonna play this. I don't think this is playable on any video card at Ultra at 60 FPS stable. At 4K, for example, I don't think that's possible at all. Which is really surprising because of the console version running at 4K 60 FPS. So you would expect it to at least get like double that or close to double that. With a card that's practically double as fast, if not faster. Um, yeah, it's really disappointing. Um, Performance wise, it's just not good. They need to optimize it. They need to implement DLSS, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, everything runs well. You can play perfectly fine, 60 plus, so it's not much an issue with that from. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know. It's just it like look at this for example. I'm turning around, and you sit at like high 60s. Yeah, for a high refresh rate monitor and a high-end computer. I don't think it's good enough. You know, like it plays perfectly fine. You can play perfectly fine this way if you're fine with 60 plus. Personally, I want to have in shooters around 100, and yeah, I'm not interested in dropping my quality all the way too low in order to get it on a stable mode, or like 90 or something like at least above 80. Like stable above 80, that's in my opinion fine. Yeah, and then on top of it, like the visual quality, like look at this. This is like, yeah. Do you call this next generation quality? Like the quality of everything just feels really like less generation wise. Like look at the trees. Like there's no interaction. It's completely frozen in time. I think it swings a little bit over the top there. The grass is. I don't think it even reacts, right? No, it's. Oh, it does react a little bit. It's minimal. Let's keep it at that. I find the puzzles minimal. I found this from the multiplayer demo also. It's like, it's minimal, you know? It's not ugly, it's fine for what it is. But the performance you get out of it is just not acceptable. Yeah, that's what I find. I honestly feel like they need to optimize again. Far more. And yeah, maybe we'll see that in the future. Anyway, other than that, game runs perfectly fine. yeah, so with this setup, not much of an issue on that front, but more performance on the GPU and the CPU will be nice. I don't think it's the hardware that I have. I think it's the software that's just simple. They just need to optimize and implement modern features that are already like at this point already 2 years on the market at this point. You know, and upscaling techniques are already way longer on the market. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, that's my review about it. And yeah, I hope you have something about it. Performance is just an issue, and that's pretty much it. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.